Hey friends, and good morning. How are you guys doing this morning? I'm doing pretty great. I missed you guys and I can't wait to show you our two awesome new signs. First, we're going to learn forgive, and the second we're going to learn is change. So let's get right into it. For forgive, we're going to need two hands. We need a flat hand, doesn't matter which one, and hold it out like you're holding something. The next hand, you're going to do a flat hand and then crook it in like that. You see? And then we're going to go from the back to the front twice. That's one sign. That means forgive. Let me see you do it. Good job, guys. The next one we're going to learn is change. We also need two hands, and they're going to do the same thing. We're going to crook them in like this. This is an X sign. All right? One on the bottom, one on the top, and then we're going to flip them. That means change. Let me see you guys do it. Change. Awesome. You guys are so good at sign language. All right, guys. I'll see you next week. Bye.
Good morning, Amazing Grace. Good morning to our friends in Beta class. And good morning to our friends at Connection Church. Good morning to Epworth friends. Good morning to First Arlington friends. It's so good to see you. I'm glad you're here. When we last talked about the story of Jacob, we talked about that there were ups and downs and ups and downs. So many times in the Bible, there are ups and downs and ups and downs. And there were a lot of downs in the story of Jacob. But that's not the end, is it? Today we're going to hear some more of the story. We're going to hear a little bit more of this great story. And I hope you will see that I have my Mizpah right here so that God can bless this space between you and me until we are together again. And on mine, Miguel had made me this stand to hold up a little card or a note or a picture. And I have written on there, forgive and change. And Victoria is going to teach us the sign for forgive and change. You might hear some of that. And I have to tell you that the low point is not the end. There's more to come. But in the highs and the lows and the ups and the downs, God is with us. God is with us. Can you sign that with me? God is with us through all of it. Thank you, Lord, for that. Let me tell you, Jacob had married his wives Leah and Rachel and two more wives. Back then they married more than one wife at a time, and he had so many, 12 sons and one daughter and so many sheep and goats, and he was ready to go off on his own. And the Lord told him it was time for him to return to his homeland where he had come from, the land of Canaan. And so he knew that Laban wouldn't want him to leave after Laban had tricked him a couple times. And so he and his wives and his children and his goats and his sheep, they kind of snuck off. And remember that Laban came and was like, hey, why'd you sneak away? And hey, you took my artifacts from my special religious artifacts, things that I use in my religion. And Jacob said, I didn't take them. Really, Rebecca took them. So stealing things, that's a low. And they said, let's make a promise to let each other live our own way, and you go your way and I'll go mine, and we'll make the Mizpah to say, God bless the space that's between us, So that's what they did. And as Jacob and his whole group started going further and further, they started to feel nervous because Jacob was going to see his brother Esau, who he hadn't seen in over 20 years. And he was afraid that Esau would still be mad. And so he had three ways to deal with it. One was he talked to God about it. He told God, I'm nervous about this. I'm scared. He sent people to talk to Esau and to find out if Esau was still mad and if Esau still wanted to kill him. And also, he sent gifts ahead to Esau. And that was his plan. And so they got to the river, and they crossed the river one night. And everybody in Jacob's whole group was on the other side of the river. And Jacob went back over, and he was alone, waiting, nervous for this time that he would see his brother. Have you ever really been nervous about something? Have you ever done something that you really feel bad about and you have to say you're sorry? Have you been worried that somebody would be mad at you? I bet Jacob doesn't sleep very well. I know I don't sleep very well when I make a bad mistake and have to say I'm sorry. So Jacob went over to be by himself that night before he was to meet his brother, and something amazing happened. So that night, Jacob was probably up all night thinking and praying to God and planning on talking to God and maybe figuring out with God. And maybe he was praying to God and saying, I'm so scared. Can you give me peace? And he was also making a plan for war in case when he went back, God told him to go back, but maybe his brother was going to be so mad that they were going to have a fight. And he was preparing for that. And as I said, he also sent presents ahead for Esau to say, kind of warm him up and to hear that he was sorry, that Jacob was sorry for stealing his father's blessing from Esau, from stealing his birthright from his big brother Esau. Now they're twins, but Esau was born first, and in the Jewish faith, that was a big deal. So he should have gotten the blessing and the majority of the birthright, but Jacob stole it from him. So he was wrestling with God and thinking about those things. And all of a sudden, the Bible tells us, now I'm in the 32nd chapter of Genesis, which comes from the Holy Bible, chapter 32 in Genesis, which is in this library we call the Bible. And it's still at the very beginning. So he wrestles with a man. That's what it says. That everybody was on the other side of the river, and he went back to check. Maybe he was checking to see if they forgot anything. When I go camping, I always make a check of everything to make sure I didn't forget anything. And he said that he was alone, and he wrestled with a man. They wrestled with each other, and they wrestled all night long. Now I'm telling you what, I bet he had bedhead, and it was just, the man tried to overpower Jacob, and Jacob would just not let go. He would not let go. And the man had great power, and he touched Jacob's hip, and it went out of joint, like, and it was so painful. But Jacob would not let go. And the man said, let me go. Dawn has broken. So the sun is starting to come up. And Jacob said, I will not let you go unless you bless me. So Jacob has been wrestling with this man all night long. And he knows that he's not just a regular man, he's special. Now I'm going to tell you, some people say that he wrestled with God. And some people say that he wrestled with an angel. Now I'm not talking about a sweet angel. I'm going to show you a strong and powerful angel, And Jacob won't let go. You see that? And Jacob will not let go. And Jacob says, you must bless me. Now, this all started because he got his brother's blessing. And I think he wanted to get a blessing that he earned himself, not one that he had stolen. And so the man, I'm going to say the angel said, let me go. And Jacob said, not until you bless me. And the angel said, what is your name? You know what his name is? Jacob. And he said, no longer will your name be said to be Jacob, but Israel. For you have exercised mastery over with the divine and with men, and you have prevailed. So your name will now be Israel. Can you say Israel? Israel. Yes. And God said, I will make you a great nation to Abraham, and then to Isaac, and then to Jacob, that blessing passed down. And so he wanted a real blessing that was just for him. And his name changed. Just like when I got married, my name changed. And that means something changed. Abraham used to be called Abram, and Sarah used to be called Sarai. But when they had this encounter with God, their names changed and their lives changed. And I think that's exactly what happened to Jacob. Now he'll be called Israel because he wrestled with an angel who's a messenger of God, and his life was changed. He asked to be forgiven. His life changed. And our lives change when we ask for forgiveness and when we give forgiveness. Hey everybody, look who I have with me.
Hi.
It's Melody. Oh, pull.
Hi, Tom. Jimmy.
So Melody's a friend of ours from Amazing Grace, but we do have friends on here who are from Knoxville, Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, South America, Colombia. We have friends from all over. Melody's here today to help me talk to you about what?
The angel.
The angel and
Jacob.
And what were they doing?
They were gun wrestling.
They were wrestling with their whole bodies, right? They were wrestling with their whole bodies. So the first thing we're going to do when we talk about wrestling is we're going to clean our hands because we're going to do a hand wrestling.
Oh boy.
All right, here we go. Have you got your hands clean?
Yeah.
Okay. Now this is something that our friends at home can do with someone at home, right? So you hold your hand like this, and let's turn our hands this way so they can see. See how we have them squished together right there? And then we put hands on either side, thumbs on either side. 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a thumb war. Now Melody's going to try and push mine down. Oh, she did it. You won that one.
You're not very strong.
All right, let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a thumb war. So see, I'm going to try and get my thumb on top of her thumb. She's got her thumb too far away. Oh, I'm going to get it. She's strong. She's really strong.
I use those little dumbbell things.
Oh, you're doing your dumbbells. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a thumb war. Oh, you got me right away. All right, let me go. No, let me go. No. Oh. The angel was tired of wrestling with Jacob. And the angel said, let me go.
Let me go.
Are you going to be the angel? Okay, you say it.
Let me go.
And Jacob said, no, not until you give me a blessing.
Now, what do I do now?
So then the angel said, what is your name?
What is your name?
Jacob. And then the angel said, I will give you a blessing. And from now on, your name is no longer Jacob. It is Israel. And you will be a blessing to all your people.
Your name is Israel. You be a blessing to all your friends.
Thank you very much. Now back to our story. Thank you, Melody.
You're welcome.
Well, Jacob was afraid still. He was afraid of meeting Esau because he knew what he had done before was wrong. He stole something very important from Esau, and he was afraid. And he'd sent the gifts over, but he was still afraid. He didn't know how Esau would react when he saw him. And I believe that Jacob was a changed person. He was different. He was changed because he had spent time wrestling with God's messenger. An angel is God's messenger. And as I said, this is a powerful, strong angel. They wrestled all night. Our lives change when we are with God, don't they? Our lives change when we really spend time with God, praying and, yes, wrestling sometimes with problems we're having. And so Jacob was approaching as a changed man, and he'd sent these presents over to say, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I did a bad thing. Well, Esau forgave him. He forgave his brother. Wow. I have this picture from the book Emily and Donna were using. Look at that. How do you think they're greeting each other? Esau greeted his brother with joy. He embraced him and he was weeping. Jacob wept too. Both brothers knew that God had chosen Jacob and his children to have the land of Canaan. Jacob had come home and he was with his brother. You know, God changes us. Prayers change us. They change us. They change the way we feel, the way we think, the way we talk. And God asks us to forgive other people. In the Lord's Prayer, we say, please, God, forgive us as we forgive other people. When I always learned that when we forgive, that's a one-handed sign. But when God forgives with both hands. It's both sides. It's wiped out what we did that was wrong. So this story has had highs and lows and truth and lies and stealing and giving. And our lives are like that. We have good times and bad times. But no matter what, good or bad, high or low, God is with us. God is with us. So I love the way this story ends. With one brother, Jacob, bringing his family and offering gifts to Esau and being a changed man and asking for forgiveness. And Esau offers forgiveness. I have to tell you, my life is better when I am willing to change and when I am able to ask for forgiveness and offer forgiveness. How about you? Does that ever happen to you too? I'm glad this story ended on an up time, on a time that the brothers are coming together and they're reunited. Margie has some great worksheets that she's given us. And here's my favorite one. They're ready for fighting, but they've changed and forgiven. And so they get to have their family together again. I can't wait till we can be together again. But for now, I'm glad that we can be together on Facebook. I'm glad that we can be together in videos. I like studying the Bible with you. And Emily's going to close us in a prayer. Remember to pray for each other and pray that our world offers forgiveness. We can give each other grace and offer forgiveness and think of how the world will be better. God bless you, my friends. I'll see you next week.
Wow, friends. We finally landed this plane, didn't we? Well, we finally got to end this story on a happy note and a powerful note. So let's remember that God is the impossibility specialist. Things that seem like they just can't be fixed. with God, we can do it. With Jesus, we can do it. So let's thank God for being that person. And let's ask God to help us be forgiving and to be reconcilers and peacemakers in this world. All right? Okay. Let's bow our heads. Gracious God, we come before you asking you to teach us to spread peace. We hope that peace and love and forgiveness will just break out everywhere, that all over our country and all over the world, people will be able to love and forgive and have hope and have optimism and joy, joy, joy as we continue to think about the peacemakers you would have us be. We ask that you would help us forgive others and that you would help us ask for forgiveness, because we know that your forgiveness is lavish and abundant. And if we could just have part of that, if you would send angels to melt frozen hearts and lift us up, make us strong, make us brave, help us to forgive, 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 and ask and ask and ask for forgiveness. We ask that you would be with Jimmy, Melody, Holly, Sam, Ashlyn, Judy, Joel, Tammy, Jack, Brayley. Be with Tom, Kathy, Nevaeh, Wesley, Mark, Dr. Paul, Alyssa, Donna, Libby. Be with Andre, Adelie, Carl, David, Ken, Matt. Help us be your peacemakers. Be with Kevin, Phyllis, Mark, Melody, Sherry, Kevin, Joel, Haley, Christy, Kyle, David, Anthony, Carrie, Connie, Steve, Greg, Robert, Buddy, Parrish, Wesley, Nick, Becky, Christian, Jean. Send us, send us, send us to places where we are needed as peacemakers. Give us courage and bravery and imagination and creativity and energy. Give us endurance. Send us where you would have us. Send us to be your people. Send us to your big family. We ask all of this in the name of the Prince of Peace, Jesus, our friend, our brother, our Lord. Amen. Good to be with you. See you soon, I hope. Oh, I hope. Love, love, and peace. 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 Bye.
Hi friends, I'm Victoria. I'm Megan.
I'm Caitlin.
I'm Liz. I'm Randy. And we're going to sing a song called Kumbaya. Sing along. Kumbaya, my Lord. Kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord. Kumbaya. no more.